whānau, I'm Mitch, this is Dirt Rich Life, and today we're going to do a modified Florida weave and plant the tomatoes as well. Better get into it. So Florida weave is a trellising system for tomatoes, or basically any plant really. But you have your posts set every sort of 1.5 meters or so, and you use your string to weave around the plants, hence the name. And it holds them up nice and strong. But I'm going to do something different. I think almost to the point where maybe it's no longer the Florida weave. I'm not sure. Once you see it, let me know in the comments. Maybe we've made something new, you know what I mean? We can name it ourselves. But the plan is, because I'm doing everything really intensively, there's going to be 3 posts there, 3 posts here, these big buggers. And then in the middle, I'll do some small like T-posts. And then I go 400 in, because there will be a fair amount of weight on these. Hopefully these will hold, and I'll do it that way. It'll be harder for them to bend inwards if they're set that way. So there'll be 1 in the center mark and 2 on the outside, running wires from each end. And then from there, I can zigzag plant all my tomatoes or peppers or whatever I decide to put in this bed at that time. And then from there, I can trellis and support my plants off those support wires that will run between them. Essentially turn this bed into something you can support 40 plus plants in this small area with the zigzag method that we'll be using. And because of the trellis system and the zigzag system, they won't be overcrowded as such. They will need a lot of nutrients and support in that aspect, but there won't be a lack of airflow between the plants or sunlight, especially with the way I'm going to prune them. With my experiments I did on my last lot of determinants over summer, proved to work really well, a little bit too well. So I needed to actually practice trimming off a lot of the trusses too. But first we need to dig some holes, or some pilot holes, and then I'm going to hammer these guys in. Oh my God. That was a workout. That was as crooked as all hell. But oh well, it is what it is. I ended up going to meter above the ground. I did 1200 and they'll still go flimsy. So now for these 3, and then we're done. I need a break. Holy crap. Hey, I'm running out of time. I gotta hustle. I still gotta go to work. And it's gonna rain tomorrow, so I gotta get what I need to get done today. Put those on. Smoked my water line to that bed with the drill. It's okay, because where I broke it, I can actually put a T there to supply this bed now. So that worked out. Now we're going to put down a Panafilm. No, we're not. First we're going to amend the soil, put the Panafilm down. I should have amended the soil way back when I did that video, but never runs over, but it is what it is. It will still work. And then we're going to set irrigation lines, Panafilm, and then plant the plants. And then hopefully I won't be late for work. We gotta hustle. Eggshells. I don't think I explained it in the other video. The eggshells when we did the tomatoes. So eggshells are a really good source of calcium, right? And tomatoes rely a lot on calcium to stop, and peppers to stop blossom end rot. And for the most part, calcium is available in the soil. It's actually the water intake, where it would be too much water to the point where the plant will stop transpiring and bringing water in, or not enough water to be able to bring the water in. And calcium relies on that water pathway through the xylem phloem vessels to supply the plant with the calcium. Now crushing up the eggshells like this into really small pieces increases its surface area, which makes it really easy for the bacteria in the soil to break it down and make it bioavailable for the plants. So doing this is just an added thing to ensure we don't end up with blossom end rot issues, and alongside good watering regimens. And good blood and bone. Good phosphorus source and nitrogen. Start the plants off. Then as I plant them, I will be putting a mycorrhizal and, for the life of me I can't pronounce it, a bacteria combo, both of which will inoculate the roots and help the plant establish its root system better and establish itself overall in this new growing substrate. Along with, I don't think I brought it with me, along with another soil amendment I've got, which has got a little bit of everything in it. So now we need to mix this in. Where's the rake? Where is the rake? Where's the rake gone? Ah, trying some of that calcium up here. Over here. What is that? Pick you up. Let's just do. That might actually work out. I'm just going to reuse the old bed's irrigation. Just need some straight corners. I'll be back. As usual, my battery went flat while I was doing it. But this is where we got up to. Irrigation's in. I put another little light coat of blood and bone on top. Now, pull that cover off. I'm going to put the irrigation into that and then put it back on. I'm going black side up when I go to plant these because we're now coming into the end of Feb. It's still our hot, was supposed to be our hot part of summer. Hasn't really been that hot. I mean, the last couple of days have been 30, 31 degrees, which is quite warm. But as the black side up, it's going to bring the soil temp up about 1 to sort of 3 degrees, which the tomatoes are going to like. And then leading into the cooler months, that soil's going to stay nice and warm for them. So we're going to do that. We'll flip it over as well. And then I'm going to hold off planting them. I was going to plant them today because we've got rain coming tonight and tomorrow, but I was just looking at it. It's actually a storm and it's going to be very windy. And it's probably not the best to plant fresh tomato seedlings out in really windy storm. So let's lift this up. Hey, whoa! Oh my God, almost pulled a groin doing that. Good old Valen. It's always trying to help. It smells so much better. When we were prepping this bed, the soil had a really bad anaerobic smell to it. But it actually smells somewhat good now. Little cricket hole. Essentially, what you would have seen in my carrot bed, which I still haven't published, but by the time you see this one, you would have. I've actually edited it and everything. I just haven't got around to publishing it. I'm trying to aim for at least 2 videos a week now. So maybe you guys can hold me accountable. This is what we're trying to achieve with stale bedding. We wet it down, put some nutrients in, although we didn't do in the carrot bed, but this encourages any dormant seeds to try and germinate and sprout, but they get met by that barrier with no sunlight, so they start to die like they've done here. Now, if it was a really sunny day, that heat of the sun and the UV rays would just cook them. They'd be dead. Done. But with the irrigation in, put the cover back over top, they're not going to go anywhere. They're just going to end up rotting back into the soil. Food for the tomatoes. What have we got? So we could essentially another 2 more maybe, and then just extend those lines. So we'll do, what's that? It's going to give us 6 lines through here because they're all going to be indeterminate tomatoes. So they're going to be very hungry, very thirsty plants going through here. I'm almost tempted to put an extra line in that determinate bed. I don't think that 4 will be enough, but we'll see. That being said, these covers will be on there, which will retain a lot of the moisture, so these won't have to work as hard. Where's me thingies? Oh, out of curiosity, I was saying these raise temp and everything like that. I got my meat thermometer. It'll work. It should do the same thing. So it's generally effective, basically the length of that your polythene will heat or cool the temp of the soil. Wow. 24.5 degrees. That's really warm. Huh. It's pretty consistent. Interesting. Once a day, like I'll put the black side up and we'll get a really big heat wave or something. But once these tomatoes are in, whatever side I've got up, it's staying like that. I can't redo it, can I? So I kind of need to, unless I use a double black side and then put a white side, and then when it cools down, we cut the white side off, but that's a waste and it's too much plastic. So we'll just do this. And that's the irrigation for that setup. We'll come back in a couple of days when the weather's supposed to fine up. It's only supposed to be about a day's worth of really bad weather. And we'll plant these tomato plants. And we'll test out the soil. It was 24.5 with that white side up, but we've had really hot days the last few days. So we're interesting to see what the soil temp is over the next couple of days. Other than that, I'll see you in a couple of days.